Hello, and welcome back to Elder Insights, a space where little changes can make a big difference, especially when it comes to comfort in your own home. Now, let me paint a picture. You've just finished wiping down the bathroom, towels folded, mirror cleared. But as you step out and turn back around, something's still off. A faint, musty scent lingers in the air. One that doesn't quite match the clean look. And if you've ever felt that frustration, that quiet sense of, why doesn't it smell fresh even when it is clean? You're not alone. The truth is, bathrooms have a way of holding on to smells. And for many of us, spraying chemical air fresheners just isn't the answer anymore. The scents are too strong, the effects don't last, and sometimes they leave behind a headache more than a feeling of ease. But here's the gentle promise of today's video. You can keep your bathroom smelling light, clean, and welcoming without scrubbing, spraying, or standing on your tiptoes to reach the fan. We're going to walk through 7 natural, practical ways to create a space that not only looks clean, but smells like peace. If that sounds like the kind of ease you'd welcome into your day, go ahead and like or share this video. It helps us keep bringing gentle solutions to your everyday life. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Comment 1 if this kind of advice feels useful, or 0 if you'd try something else. Your voice helps shape the content we create just for you. Let's begin with the first simple shift. It's small, but it works like magic. Tip number 1, baking soda. This one doesn't make a sound. It doesn't even have a scent. But it quietly soaks up odors before you ever notice them. And for many older women, it's become their first line of defense against that stubborn, stale bathroom smell that just doesn't go away. Margaret, 72, keeps a little glass jar tucked behind her toilet. Not decorative, not fancy, just a clean jam jar half filled with baking soda. It sits there quietly, almost invisible, but it's the reason her bathroom hasn't smelled musty in weeks. She first tried it after her daughter came over one afternoon. "Mom, it smells like damp towels in here," she'd said, wrinkling her nose, not unkindly, just observant. Margaret had cleaned the day before, scrubbed the tiles, switched out the rugs. The trash bin was empty. And yet, that slight sour scent lingered. Her daughter smiled and walked back out to the car, came back in with a small mason jar already prepared. "Here," she said, "just try this. It works better than anything you can spray." Margaret was skeptical, but she set the jar down, poked a few holes in the lid, and went about her day. The next morning, the difference was subtle but real. The air felt lighter, nothing floral or perfumed, just cleaner, like opening a window in spring without the breeze. The trick is simple. Baking soda is a natural odor absorber. It doesn't cover smells, it neutralizes them. No artificial fragrance, no headaches. And you can add a few drops of essential oil if you want a soft hint of lavender, lemon, or eucalyptus. Just mix, place it near the toilet or trash bin, and forget about it for a few weeks. Now, Margaret keeps one in each bathroom. She replaces the baking soda once a month. No fuss, no bending, no effort. It's become part of her quiet rhythm, something that works for her without asking much in return. And she loves that. At this stage in life, there's something deeply satisfying about solutions that don't demand your time, energy, or back. And if guests stop by unexpectedly, she never worries. Her home smells like someone who cares, but doesn't stress. But if you'd rather smell something gentle, like lavender or citrus, the next idea brings both freshness and calm. Tip number 2, a bowl of lemons. This one doesn't sit in the cleaning aisle. It sits on the kitchen counter or in a bowl by the window. But in the right spot, a lemon can do more for your bathroom than most store-bought sprays. For years, Denise kept a small dish of artificial flowers on the back of her toilet. It matched the towels and gave the space a little color, but the flowers collected dust, and they didn't help with the smell. One morning, after slicing lemons for her tea, she paused. The scent lingered on her hands, clean, bright, alive. And then she looked at that dusty dish of silk petals and thought, why not? She took one lemon, cut it in half, and placed both halves in a small ceramic bowl near the bathroom sink. She didn't expect much. But a few hours later, when her neighbor stopped by to borrow a book, she asked what candle Denise had been using. No candle, Denise said, just a lemon. It turns out citrus doesn't just smell fresh. It also helps neutralize odors in the air. The oils in the peel naturally release a clean scent, especially when the lemon is freshly cut. And while it won't last forever, it can keep the bathroom feeling light and pleasant for a couple of days. Now, Denise keeps a little weekend habit. On Saturday mornings, she sets aside one lemon. Half goes in her tea. The other half goes in the bathroom. Simple, fragrant. And she says it feels like a reset, not just for the room, but for her mood too. Some weeks, she adds a few cloves into the lemon's flesh, creating a soft, spiced scent. Other times, she tucks the bowl near the bathtub and lets the warmth from her shower carry the aroma through the room. And when the lemon starts to dry out, she composts it or drops it into the garbage disposal for a final boost of freshness in the kitchen. It's not complicated, but it works. And there's something comforting about reaching for something natural, something familiar, and letting it quietly do its job. But if you'd rather not deal with fruit at all, there's another option, something even more hands-off, and it lasts for weeks. Tip number 3, the little sachet. It doesn't plug in, it doesn't spray, and it doesn't call attention to itself. But for something so small, this little sachet can completely change how your bathroom smells without lifting a finger. Helen calls it her lazy day secret. At 68, her knees aren't what they used to be. And while she still takes pride in a tidy home, she's learned to be smarter about where she spends her energy. A few months ago, her granddaughter brought over a linen drawer sachet, lavender and cedar, saying, "This is for your towels." Helen thanked her, tucked it in the linen cupboard, and didn't think much about it. But the next morning, as she stepped into the bathroom, she noticed something. The air smelled clean, not just bleached clean, but soft, floral, like the countryside in spring. And it wasn't coming from any spray. It was coming from the towel she just hung up. That little sachet had quietly infused the fibers with scent. Every time she dried her hands, the room got a little fresher. That's when she got the idea. If it worked in the cupboard, why not in the bathroom itself? She placed a few small sachets, one in the basket of extra toilet paper, another near the back of the cabinet, and one tucked inside the towel bin. No mess, no bottles, no bending down, and it worked. The scent wasn't overwhelming, just a steady, subtle presence, like someone had just opened a window and let something good drift in. You can buy sachets online or make your own. All you need is a breathable pouch, cotton, linen, even an old sock tied with string. Fill it with dried lavender, rosemary, cedar chips, or eucalyptus. You can refresh it every few weeks with a drop or two of essential oil. Helen says she changes hers out with the seasons. In summer, she uses citrus peel and mint. In winter, cinnamon and cloves. It's a quiet ritual, one that takes 2 minutes but makes every visit to the bathroom feel just a little more cared for. It's a small thing, but small things matter, especially the ones that help us breathe a little easier without doing more. But what if you want freshness and moisture in the air too? Then the next one's for you. Tip number 4, a steaming bowl. I didn't plan to do anything special that day. The bathroom just smelled off. Not terrible, not dirty, just that heavy, closed-up smell that sometimes settles in after a humid week. I had already opened the window, but the air felt still, the kind of stillness that makes you hesitate before stepping into the shower. Then I remembered something I used to do when the kids were little and full of colds. I'd boil a pot of water, add herbs, and let them breathe in the steam with a towel over their heads. It always brought comfort. So I boiled a kettle, poured the hot water into a ceramic bowl, dropped in a few sprigs of rosemary from the garden, a slice of lemon, and 2 drops of eucalyptus oil. I placed the bowl carefully on the bathroom counter and closed the door. 10 minutes later, when I stepped back in, it felt like another place entirely. The scent was soft but full, clean, herbal, with just a hint of warmth from the steam. It felt comforting, almost like someone had just tidied up and left behind a touch of care. That bowl didn't just shift the smell, it shifted my mood. Since then, I've made it a quiet ritual, once or twice a week. When I feel the air turning stale, I repeat the process. Sometimes I use mint, sometimes orange peel. I don't follow rules, just what I have on hand. The steam fills the room, lifting the scent into corners where sprays never quite reach. And when the bowl cools down, I pour it down the drain, which, by the way, helps freshen that too. It's not something I read in a book. It's something I rediscovered. And now it's mine again. A little warmth, a little scent, and a few moments of peace. That's all it takes. But maybe you don't have the time or the knees for boiling water. That's where the next one comes in. Tip number 5, a dryer sheet in the trash. This one caught her off guard. It was trash day, and her neighbor was tossing a bag into the bin, smiling. "Why does your bathroom always smell so fresh?" Margaret asked, halfway joking. Her neighbor paused, then laughed. "Dryer sheets," she said. "I throw one in the bottom of my bathroom trash can. Always have." At first, Margaret thought she was kidding. Dryer sheets? The kind you use in the laundry? But her neighbor nodded. Just one sheet, at the very bottom, under the liner, works like a charm. Margaret went home and tried it. She didn't expect much. She lined her small bathroom bin like always, but this time she slipped a lavender-scented dryer sheet underneath the bag. No spraying, no extra steps. That evening, she walked past the bathroom and stopped in her tracks. The air smelled clean, not artificial, just calm. Like laundry day, without the work. It wasn't overpowering. It didn't clash with her hand soap or shampoo. But it was there, subtle and pleasant. She started doing it every week, and not just with lavender. She tried fresh linen, spring rain, even citrus blends. Each one added a soft layer of scent that made the bathroom feel cared for, even on days she didn't lift a finger to clean. Sometimes, she'd toss the used dryer sheet into the bottom of her laundry basket. instead of throwing it out. It still had enough fragrance to do double duty. Other times, she'd fold one into the base of the toilet paper holder or tuck it behind the tank lid. No bending, no spraying, no scrubbing, just a tiny change that made a surprising difference. It's not fancy, it's not natural exactly, but it works. And at this point, Margaret's learned that practicality has a beauty of its own. She still chuckles when she thinks of her neighbor's tip. You never know where the best ideas will come from, she told her daughter last week. Sometimes they're standing right across the driveway. But if you prefer something completely natural, no perfumes, no chemicals, the next idea might be just right. Tip number 6, a cotton ball, a cupboard, and a forgotten habit. This one started by accident. Elaine was wiping down her bathroom windowsill one morning when she opened the cabinet underneath the sink and winced. It didn't smell bad exactly, just stale, like the air had been sitting still too long. Not the kind of thing guests would notice, but she did, and that was enough. She thought about grabbing a spray, but something stopped her. The idea of spraying a heavy mist into a tiny enclosed space didn't sit right anymore. Too strong, too sharp, and it never lasted. So instead, she reached into her cleaning basket and pulled out a bottle of peppermint essential oil. She hadn't used it in a while, mostly for foot soaks and the occasional headache rub. But that morning, she took a cotton ball, added 3 drops of oil, and placed it quietly at the back of the cabinet. Then she closed the door. 2 days later, when she reached in for the spare soap, she paused. It smelled clean. Not loud, not fake, just the soft, clear scent of something fresh, without having to do anything at all. That's when it clicked. She started adding scented cotton balls to other places. Behind the toilet, at the base of the towel basket, inside the drawer where she kept spare razors and toothpaste. And because the scent faded naturally, she could choose how strong or soft she wanted it. Some weeks, she used lavender. Other weeks, a drop of eucalyptus or orange. It became a quiet kind of self-care. Something about those tiny scented cotton balls made her feel like she was doing something for herself, not just the house. And when her granddaughter visited and used the bathroom, she came out and said, "Grandma, your bathroom smells like a spa." Elaine smiled. All it takes is 1 drop. The best part? No bending, no scrubbing, no mess. Just a cotton ball, a cupboard, and a few seconds of care. But if you want something that lasts even longer, without refilling or replacing, what's coming next might just be your favorite one yet. Tip number 7, the wooden ring. It was a gift. Small, round, and so simple that Elaine almost missed its purpose. Her daughter handed it to her one Sunday after brunch. "It's a cedar wood ring," she explained, "for your bathroom. Just drop some oil on it and that's it." Elaine turned it over in her hand. It looked like something you'd find in a craft drawer. Bare wood, smooth edges, a faint natural scent of cedar. No packaging, no instructions. But her daughter insisted. So, that afternoon, Elaine placed the wooden ring over the top of her shower pipe, just where the water didn't touch. She added 2 drops of lavender oil. That night, after brushing her teeth, she paused. The bathroom didn't just smell clean. It felt soft, peaceful, like a gentle ending to her day. The next morning, she stepped into the shower, and as the steam rose, so did the scent. No spraying, no timers, no remembering. Just the natural warmth of a shower carrying a gentle fragrance into the room. She began using one in the closet too. Then the linen drawer. The wooden ring absorbed the oil slowly, releasing it over time, week by week. And when the scent faded, she simply refreshed it. What she loved most wasn't just the simplicity. It was the way the ritual settled into her life. Quiet, reliable, kind. One morning, her neighbor stopped by for coffee and mentioned how calming Elaine's home always smelled. Elaine didn't explain everything. She just smiled and said, "Here, take one. You'll see." Now it's something she shares. Something passed between friends, between generations. Not expensive, not complicated, but meaningful. Because sometimes the smallest things, the things that sit quietly and ask nothing from us, bring the greatest comfort. And really, that's what this has all been about. So let's close with a few thoughts before we go. So much of life is loud, rushing, demanding. But the things that make us feel truly at ease, they're often the quietest. A soft scent when you walk into the bathroom, the subtle lift of lavender, or the brightness of lemon in the air. No harsh sprays, no scrubbing, just small, thoughtful choices that make your space and your day feel lighter. And that's the real gift, isn't it? These aren't just tricks to mask odor. They're gentle habits that honor where you are in life. Habits that say, "You've done enough. You deserve peace, ease, and comfort in the spaces you call home." If even one of these ideas helps your mornings feel a little fresher, a little softer, that's already a win. If you found something useful in this video, go ahead and like or share it. It helps us keep bringing you these everyday solutions made with care. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below. Tell us what works for you or what you've passed along to someone else. Because your voice matters here, always.